Welcome to this edition of Inside ICC. We're talking Indians football with the head coach, Jon Williams. First of all, Coach, congrats on a season. Not a lot of people thought at 1-3 that we would be facing Northwest for the division championship at the end of the year, but kudos to you, the staff, and the players.
I think it's a tribute to our players and our assistant coaches. You know, we grew up a lot this year, and I was really impressed with the way our team matured. You know, coming into the season, we had a new staff, we had new players, a new philosophy on all three phases of the game, and in the program in general. So I was real pleased with the way we matured. I think, you know, if you look back, the first few interviews we did, I think the thing that I pointed to was just a lack of maturity that cost us some games early, and indeed it was, and we improved on that.
There's no question about that. You won as many games this year, 5. You finished 5-4, 4-2 in the North, tied for second. Those 5 wins were as many as the last 2 years combined. So obviously ICC, we're moving the chains now. We're moving in the right direction.
Sure, we are. I think at the same time, though, we have to remain humble and understand that even though we did equal our win total from the last 2 years, some of those were close ball games, and it could have very easily gone the other way. And as I said, it was a tribute to our players and our coaches that made a commitment to win the close games, and you know. But we all have to keep in mind we all have a long way to go. We want to be a championship caliber program year in and year out, and in order for us to attain that goal, we have to continue to get better and never be satisfied.
No, and you talk about your players. 8 of those players made All-State, led by Darius Lee, the preseason All-American, the Mississippi State commit. He made first-team All-Region 23. He made first-team All-State as well, along with Tim McAdoo, another SEC guy, a Kentucky commit, defensive tackle from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah, you know, I'm just really proud of those guys. You know, Tim had a great season, and early in the season, you know, he was not as visible, so to speak, up front on defense as he was toward the middle to end of the season. Part of that was due to he was a late enrollee. In other words, he didn't join us in June. He came in July, so you know, he got a late start. And once he got here, he was a little out of shape and had some issues with dehydration, but as he worked himself into shape, he just got stronger and stronger. The encouraging thing is we're going to have him now, you know, starting now in off-season workouts and on through to the 2011 season. So I think you're going to see a whole lot better player if he'll remain humble.
There you go. And of course, Darius Lee, Mississippi State's going to have themselves a whale of a time. I know their fans are already looking forward to seeing Darius Lee, especially what he's done the last 2 years here at ICC. He was totally deserving of that all-region first-team selection. He was one of those shut-down corners for you.
Yeah, he was, and I think, you know, he's one of the best in the country. He didn't have a whole lot of stats in terms of interceptions and pass breakups, but the reason was they didn't go to him. They respected him enough not to go to him. So, but you know, it's when we got into all-region voting, everyone knew who he was, and everyone respected the fact that he was one of the best. And certainly, Mississippi State's going to get a great player, and he's a multifaceted player that can do a lot of things, and I know that they'll utilize all of his skills.
No question about that. Now it comes to recruiting season. I know you and the staff will be out there pounding the pavement even more, trying to bring back some people to complement those freshmen that you had this year, next year for the Indians.
Yeah, absolutely. This is probably the most important time of the year. You know, your year is broken up into phases. You know, recruiting season, in season, and off season conditioning. This is probably the most important. Not only do we have to find good players, we have to find good people. And that's what I've said from day one on December the 15th when I was hired. We have to have good people first. And, you know, we're not going to be the type program that jumps on just the best player that's been kicked out of another school. You know, we got to do our research, because we don't want just any kid that can play football. We want a kid that's got some character and is a good person first. then we want to look at what type of talents he has on the field.
Well, it sounds like a great equation, John. Appreciate your time. Good luck in recruiting.
Thank you.
Jon Williams, our guest on this edition of Inside ICC.